Let's write a ratio as a fraction. First of all, a ratio is simply a number that compares two quantities when measured in the same unit. And we can write ratios three ways. We can write them with a colon B. We can use the word to, A to B, or we can write them as a fraction, A over B. Now, I generally, and I think a lot of people write them as a fraction because they're the most easy to play with and then to simplify. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to write each ratio as a simplified fraction. So in letter A, the first thing we're going to do when we have a ratio, 18 to 26, is to just write it as a fraction. Now the word 2 is where the fraction bar is going to come in. Whatever comes first is on the top. Now, 18 and 26 are both even, so I can divide them each by 2, and I end up with 9 over 13, simplified fraction. In letter B, again, the first number goes on top, so I have 15 over 36. 15 is odd, so I can't divide by 3, but I notice that 15 and 36, both divisible by 3. So let's start there. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 36 divided by 3 is 12. And those are good there. So my reduced simplified fraction is 5/12. And then last but not least, I have 30 to 20. If you have two numbers, both ending in a 0, the zeros can cancel out. That's the same as dividing by 10. And I have 3 to 2. Now, those were pretty easy. But what happens when I have a decimal inside my ratio? So now when I do this, I have 2.7 over 4.5. General rule of thumb, we do not want a decimal inside of a fraction. So if you think about this okay, if I multiply both the top and bottom by the same number, and in this case by 10, that moves my decimal one place. So now I have 27 over 45. And now I can reduce. So 27 and 45 are both divisible by 3. And this gives me 9 over 15. Oh, 9 and 15 are also divisible by 3. So that would give me 3/5. I should have divided by 9 to start. But that's okay. It's okay if it takes you more than one step to reduce. Just keep simplifying by a shared factor. Now, in the second one, in letter B, I have 0.24 over 4.8. If I do the same thing where I multiply by 10, that moves my decimal one place. But you'll notice now I have 2.4 over 48. I still have a decimal inside. So I really say, okay, I don't want to multiply by 10. I want to multiply both sides, or both numerator denominator, by 100, because that, multiplying by 100, moves my decimal 2 places. But I have to move my decimal 2 places in both the numerator and the denominator. So I end up having to add that 0 in the bottom, so I have 480. Now, 24 and 480 are both reducible by 24. So 24 divided by 24 is 1, and 480 divided by 24 is 20. So this simplifies to 1/20. And let's do one more. What if we have mixed numbers? Oh man, look at the excitement. So first things first, we have 2 and 2/3 to 3 and 1/4. Okay, so this is a few steps. I have mixed numbers inside of fractions. This is not so great. So let's change our mixed numbers to improper fractions. Okay, so in the numerator, I take 2 times 3, so 2 times 3, which is 6, and then I add the numerator. So 6 plus 2 gives me 8. Denominator stays the same, so 8/3. In the denominator, 3 times 4, and then I'm going to add the numerator. So 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 1 is 13. And the denominator of 4 stays the same. Now, this is the same as 8/3 divided by 13/4. Well, how do we divide fractions? We change the division to multiplication, and flip. So keep, change, flip. You will notice numerator to denominator. There are no common factors, so I can multiply straight across. 8 times 4 is 32, and 3 times 13 is 39. So my simplified fraction of 2 2/3 to 3 1/4 is simply or not so simply, 32 over 39.